Tonight on DC News Now, we're talking about those heat index values back into those triple digits again tomorrow. But when do we finally see that relief? Latest details coming up.
Weighing in on the future of RFK Stadium, with many for it.
I'm excited about it. I'm here for it.
And many others pushing back.
Yeah. No bad deals. No bad deals.
Mounds of trash inviting unwanted company. A walk in the district giving leaders a chance to talk to neighbors about fighting rats and crime.
Virginia voters sounding off on a new poll, how they're rating President Trump's policies.
Potentially pulling the plug on a robot security program over privacy concerns and costs.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for DC News Now at 10. I'm Susan Tran.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Flanagan. Another sweltering evening out there. A live look at the National Cathedral in Northwest DC. So there's an air quality alert for tomorrow. The EPA forecasting the air will be harmful for sensitive groups in DC, also parts of Northern Virginia and Maryland. So anyone who has breathing difficulties, other areas will have a yellow air quality alert. So heads up for tomorrow.
Yeah, anybody who has asthma or any of those breathing issues. Chief Meteorologist Jackie Lara, is it just exacerbated because of the heat and humidity?
It certainly is. So yeah, you also factor in that air pollution too. And when you heat things up, it just gets worse. So again, heads up tomorrow. Make sure you kind of limit your time outside, especially if you have those breathing issues. But we also have that heat advisory that's out there for the day tomorrow. That goes into effect at 11 a.m. and that holds till 8 p.m. in the evening. Talking about heat index values, it could be upwards of 105 degrees at times. And that orange color includes most of the map for the day tomorrow. So again, certainly going to limit your time outside too because of how hot it is going to be. But if you have to be outside for an extended period of time, make sure you're staying cool, staying hydrated, taking plenty of water breaks in the shade just to stay cool too. Highs tomorrow will be back in those mid to upper 90s, going with a high of 98 degrees in DC. That would be the hottest day of the work week, the hottest since last Friday when we reached that high of 98 degrees. We could be challenging some records out there, or at least close to it. Dallas Airport 98 set back in 1988. Reagan Airport 99 set back in 1953. I don't think we'll get close to the Martinsburg one of 104 set back in 1930, but hey, it could feel close to that at times tomorrow when you factor in that humidity. Starting off with the sunshine in the morning, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds by the middle of the afternoon as temperatures heat up pretty quickly out there tomorrow. Thankfully, we're tracking a cool down as we round out the work week. I'll have the latest details and timing of that. We'll get towards the rest of that 70 forecast in just a few minutes.
Cheering at a different stadium here. This is a clash between Commanders fans and families in the community outside of the Wilson building there in D.C. Hundreds of people were inside sharing their opinions on the proposal to bring the team back to the district. Council members rotated in and out of that hearing all day long.
Yeah, and as you heard, there are passionate pleas from both sides on what they like to see as part of the deal ahead of a major vote on Friday. DC News Now's Daniel Hamburg joining us live tonight at the Wilson building.
And Daniel, with more than 500 people signing up to speak here, talk about what some of the things they were talking and saying there.
Well, Susan and Chris, there are a lot of people who are passionate on both sides of this issue. A lot of people say, well, if this deal is going to happen, let's just get a better deal, while other people are just upset at the fact that this whole process has been backwards. The public hearing was today, but that was after this deal has essentially already been made by first Mayor Bowser and then Council Chair Phil Mendelson. A $4 billion investment at the old RFK site has many Washingtonians excited for the future.
Bringing the Commanders home is more than a headline. It's a homecoming. It's economic development and investment in neighborhoods that deserve more than promises.
But others are worried a new stadium won't help their neighbors.
With the money that would go into this stadium deal, we could build thousands of units of deeply permanently affordable housing. We could create thousands of dream jobs restoring our rivers and our forests.
For all the ardent supporters and detractors, a good portion of people testifying say if a deal is going to happen, it needs to be better.
The Chairman Mendelson was able to wring out $700 million in concessions after looking at it for 2 weeks suggests maybe we have more negotiating leverage than we think.
Some referring to it as a seller's market, believing the team doesn't want to go to Maryland or Virginia.
What we need from you is to extract every single dime you can out of them. for the privilege of being here.
And there's also a push for the council to include guarantees for workers in the district.
Imagine the thousands of construction jobs, operation roles, and vendor opportunities that will become available, many of which can and should go directly to D.C. residents.
Viewed as a major opportunity for some, but a bad deal for others, council members only have a few days to sort things out. Now, I'm told that meeting, that public hearing is still going on. I just ran into Ward 6 council member Charles Allen, who tells me he is still not a yes, but there is still time between now and Friday. He tells me that the commanders are getting nervous that they don't have the votes on the council, and some terms of the deal changed even today. So tomorrow is when the team, the commanders, as well as Mayor Bowser's office will be testifying in front of the council before that first vote on Friday. So it sounds like there is still some wiggle room there and still a lot to be done between now and then. We're live at the Wilson Building. Daniel Hamburg, DC News Now.
Daniel, there's also this new poll that shows a majority of people want the council to make amendments to that commander's project.
Yeah, Greater Washington is an advocacy nonprofit that commissioned the survey. It finds 60% of people think council can get a better deal if they keep negotiating, while 26% think the deal is good right now as is. So
the survey says that 63% believe the district should hold a competitive bidding process to assign who gets to develop all of that land around the stadium. 19% say the council should look at other options for that 174-acre RFK site. This was a poll of roughly 830 people in the district.
And you can find more on the possible deal and full timeline of events leading up to the public hearing on our website, dcnewsnow.com.
Some neighbors in the district feel under attack, not just by crime, but take a look, these rats. Families who live in the Bloomingdale neighborhood say that there's a ton of trash leading to all the rodents, and they need city leaders to do more to clean up their concerns.
Yeah, DC News Now's Max Marcilla shows us how a safety walk turned into a tour of what's making life just unbearable for some families.
The north side of Bates.
This group of people who live in the Bloomingdale neighborhood are about to take city officials to the root of their problems, starting with trash.
Something smells dead over here.
Lots and lots of trash, some illegally dumped, others appearing to have been there for a while. And it's inviting unwanted company. Trash cans with holes where rats have made a home and piles of feces.
Oh, look at that big old rat, you see?
We got a close-up look at some of the perpetrators of that mess.
If you only do one house, then they'll move next door. Right, but if you do all of the houses, then they'll just move somewhere else.
ANC Commissioner Carla Lewis is leading the public safety walk with officials from the mayor's office, DC Police, Departments of Health and Public Works, and Councilmember Zachary Parker's office, all in attendance. It started at the corner of 1st and R Streets Northwest and continued through alleyways and up Quincy Place just off North Capitol. It appeared to get instant results, but neighbors say the job is not done.
It's great, but is it going to continue? Is it just today?
Everything you just saw, that was just one part of why this walk was held. The other part was crime. Now, Lewis says even though MPD data shows crime is down in Ward 5 and in this neighborhood, the reality when you live here, she says, it feels different.
We had seen week after week after week all of the robberies that were happening.
Lewis says she wants DC police to have a constant presence on the street, not just in cars, but beyond that, hopes homeowners will install cameras.
We have had a number of cameras that have solved crime.
In Northwest, Max Marcilla, DC News Now.
What a great way to issue out some concerns there and flesh it all out for us, Max. Thank you. Now to police dog Gusto, you see right here. He is retiring. For the past 3 years. He's been keeping travelers safe over at DCA and Dulles airports. But the airport's authority police saying that Gusto recently was diagnosed with cancer, had life-saving surgery, so now will be spending his retirement at home with his former handler. And congrats and good job to Gusto there.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, a new poll from Virginia Commonwealth University finds a majority of people in the region are not a fan of President Trump's many policies. Survey shows 61% of Virginians think his tariff policies will weaken the U.S. over the next few months. On federal job cuts, 51% disapprove of his efforts to use mass layoffs as a way to reduce government spending. And 84% think illegal immigrants crossing the southern border is a problem. But that might not matter much within the context of Virginia's upcoming elections.
Problem is, of course, that Virginia is not a border state, so the problems of immigration are not quite as present in the day-to-day lives of many Virginians in a way that would really drive them to vote as it might in some other parts of the country.
All right, should be noted, this poll was done before President Trump signed his tax bill into law. It has more cuts to health care for low-income families, people with disabilities, and children.
A Virginia judge is ordering the removal of 8 university board members from several different schools, and they are Governor Glenn Youngkin's appointees, all to accommodate the White House's efforts to reshape higher education and eliminate any focus on DEI. They will now have to leave their board seats from the University of Virginia, George Mason, and the Virginia Military Institute. This is seen as a big win for state Democrats who rejected those appointees.
Well, developing now at 10, meet Parker, a new security robot set to patrol a parking garage in Silver Spring. But the Montgomery County Council was looking to pause the program with a lot of questions about funding and also privacy.
DC News Now's Yamarisa Say has much more on how people in the community are feeling about plugging Parker back in for patrols.
Well, this parking garage in Silver Spring already has security patrol and cameras, and soon this fall a robot will be joining them. It's called Parker, and some people have some mixed feelings about it.
I think it's very creepy. I think there's a fine line between security and surveillance.
It should be safe in the community for the people that can't protect themselves.
Those are just a few reactions to Parker, the robotic security patrol coming to the Ellsworth/Civic Building garage in Silver Spring. It's part of a pilot program from MC.to deter crime.
We will be able to understand whether the presence of a device like this reduces the number of incidents generally in the parking garage.
Montgomery County Council pushed back, saying they didn't even know about the program and asked for it to be paused. Today, council members aired their concerns.
As a body, very concerned about making sure that everyone in our community feels safe, and that means feeling safe from having pictures taken or video taken.
What is the cost of the unit? What is the cost of replacement of the unit? Does Parker survive the test period intact?
In the end, they agreed to move forward, but not everyone parking here is sold on it.
You know, it's a mini surveillance that could, help other people.
I think it's going to waste tax dollars if we're going to have to pay for that, and it's not going to actually deter crime. I think in theory it's a good idea. I think execution, probably not the best.
Yeah, well, MC.dot says they plan to introduce Parker to the community at various outreach events before the launch in the fall. Reporting in Montgomery County, Maryland, I'm Yamarisa Say, DC News Now.
And heads up for drivers. Expect some heavy traffic in Old Town Alexandria tomorrow. Officials say maintenance work will shut down Abington Drive in both directions. So traffic will be detoured to the GW Parkway at 9 a.m. tomorrow and also 6 a.m. on Thursday. And then a few hours later at 9 Thursday morning, GW Parkway is shut down and again shut down at 6 a.m. on Friday. Traffic will be detoured to east and west Abington Drives.